Very good evening and welcome to Glamour Live. I am Molife Kumona, the online editor for Glamour Magazine South Africa. Thank you so much for joining us for yet another live, another Glamour Live. And today we've got an exclusive Glamour Live. We've got a Glamour Live with American television personality, author, businesswoman, as well as reality star, Nene Leakes. Nene is joining us today, and we're going to be chatting everything from reality shows, music, acting. So basically, just thank you for joining us. Nene will be joining us in a bit, and then we can start the live. Just waiting on Nene, and then we can start this live. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you. We're waiting on Nene to join us, and then we can start our live. Thank you for your time. Super excited about this one. For everyone who's just joining us, my name is Molife Kumona. I am the online editor for Glamour Magazine South Africa. Just waiting on our Glamour exclusive to join us, for Nene Leakes to join us as we're talking everything Real Housewives. We're talking music, we're talking career and everything. Thank you so much for joining us. Yes, indeed. I see you, Mbuso. Kyle, Nene is on her way. Nene is on her way. She'll be joining us just now. Yes, Nene is right here, and we're going to start our live.
Hi.
Hey, Nene.
How
are you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm gonna push my thing back. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thanks.
Very good.
What's the weather like there? So it's 6 p.m. here, and you're 12 noon.
I'm noon. Yeah, it's very hot
Mm,
here today.
is it? It's
Yes.
pretty cold.
It's cold. It's
Terribly
cold.
cold.
Really? It's cold? Oh, I
It's winter.
remember. I remember. Yeah, I remember when we were there in South Africa. The winter, the climates were different. And it's in July here, June and July, it's hot and it's cold there.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
what a difference.
pretty cold.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us. Super
Oh, thank you
excited to
for
have
having
you
me. Thank you.
for this Glamour exclusive. And as always, you look amazing. You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Cool. So, when I was preparing for this live, so when we posted everywhere that you're going to come through, a whole lot of people were like, they're excited that Nene is joining us. Do you know how much people love you?
I
Do you know
do.
that?
I do. I do know how much people love me, and I love you right back. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you
Okay. Yes,
perfectly.
I do know how much people love me, and I love them back, and I feel really grateful to be loved. So
Hmm.
thank you.
Cool. So let's just start off. I've got a couple of questions here
Yeah.
that I put together.
Okay.
So one of the things that's happening right now in the United States, I think
Yes.
particularly the world over,
Hmm.
is the Black Lives Matter movement.
Yeah.
Um, and you have been vocal about it on your platforms. You've also been going out to march with Greg. Why do you think it's important for us to speak about it, and also for people with a voice and platforms like you to be involved in such movements?
Well, it's very important if you have a platform as large as mine, or even if you don't even have a large platform, it is just
Mm,
very important to make sure the message is out there that Black lives matter because they do.
mm,
And Black Lives Matter is just a gate. It's just a gate to
mm,
all of the other things that's been happening for such a very long time. So I
mm,
think a lot of times the people are hearing the word Black Lives Matter, and they need to stop hearing the word Black Lives Matter and listen to the message of Black Lives Matter. It's important to know the message. I think that's why a lot of people are getting a lot of things wrong when people are speaking out and they're saying a lot of the wrong things, because they don't understand the message and they don't understand the movement. And it's important to understand that, because one of the things we haven't said is we have not said that all lives do not matter. We haven't said that, because I've seen that a lot when people say that, well, all lives matter. See, that is a person that does not understand the message. So understand the message, learn the message. So it's very important to have a platform like mine and like yours, and put our platforms to use and educate the people on the message and not the word.
And what would you say is the message for someone who doesn't understand what the message is? What is the message?
The message is the fact that Black Lives Matter, because so many times our young men and our young sisters, our Black men and our Black sisters have been, a lot of things have been unjust. Okay. And so it is important that we put the message out that Black Lives Matter. We are important just as any other nationality is important. So it's important for people to know that we have been treated unfairly and unjust. And I think for a lot of Black people, we just want what's fair. I don't think that Black people have said they want it at all. I think they just want what is fair. What is fair. So it's important to learn about the message of Black Lives Matter, because they do matter.
And have you been racially profiled yourself? I mean, being a personality.
Hello. Hello. I don't think there's a lot of people that are color can ever say they haven't been, profiled at some point. I must say that I've never been stopped by a police and profiled in a negative way. So that has not happened to me, but I have definitely been treated unfair and unjust in many other areas of my life. Many. And I have ran into a lot of situations where I was profiled. And it's really sad to say, isn't it? It's really sad to say. It really is in a time like this. This is 2020, and we actually have to sit and talk about being profiled.
Yeah. I totally get you. And have you had to have the talk? Because I've been watching a lot that as a parent, have you had to have the talk with Bryson and Brent?
Yes.
Have you had to have that?
Okay, so I want to tell you, when I saw the George Floyd's video, it was late at night when it first came out. It was late at night. I was in my bed, and the video was sent to me. And I looked at it that night and was like, what? Blown away. I could not sleep that night, right? So I was tossing and turning all night. I wake up the next day, and it was everywhere. Everybody was talking about George Floyd, right? And the next night, I said to Greg, we have to text our boys. We have to text them. So in the beginning, it was still all, unfolding, and I didn't know everything that was happening or was going to happen. And so I text my baby, because my baby is the youngest one. And I said to him, listen to me. I don't know what's going on. This is when everything was very fresh. If a police officer stops you, please comply. At the time, I didn't know that George was trying to comply with whatever it is that they're saying. So I was saying to my son, please follow the rules. Please follow the instructions. If you cannot reach mom, I don't know, put your phone on Facebook, put it on Instagram. And the problem with that is, as a Black mom, to have to tell my young Black son, if he gets pulled over by the police, to put your phone on Instagram or Facebook Live so that people can hear you. And that is what's crazy to me. My son, he's a young guy, and he doesn't know. He's never had a rough life, as a lot of these young people have not. So he doesn't understand that. But these are the kind of things that we've had to say to our son. I called up my oldest son and said the same thing to him. Listen to me, you have to comply. Then we later find out that George was trying to comply. You can hear him. Yeah, you can hear him saying, I will get in the car. I will, because somebody's in the background telling him to get up or something. And he's saying, get in the car. And he's like, I want to get in the car. I want to get in the car. And I go back to my sons and say to them, I want you to really look at this video, okay? I want you to see what's wrong with this video here. And both of my sons are looking at this video in horror. My husband has 4 boys, from his first marriage. We're having to have a
Yes.
conversation with all of our boys. We have boys. All boys are here. And so we're having to talk to all of our boys about what to do if a police stop you. These are grown men. But as you can see, George was a grown man. We're having to tell our grown men what to do if a police stops you. And to me, that's just unfair. I don't, are there other nationalities out here telling their children what to do when the police pull them over? They're probably telling them the normal things to do, like make sure you have your license and registration, make sure you probably answer yes or no, sir. We're sitting up here telling our kids about, go on Facebook Live, call your mom, put your recorder on. I mean, we're having to do all of those things to save their lives. So it's a very different thing, and it's very tough to talk to your young child about something like that.
I totally agree. And in terms of COVID-19, it's something that caught us all by surprise, and we're all at home due to it. How have you been keeping safe and mentally okay during this very difficult time?
Well,
what have you been doing to stay safe?
First, I want to say that in Atlanta, it's sort of open right now. Atlanta, So not sort of, it almost feels like when you go out there, it is wide open. I mean, people are in restaurants, they're in stores. I mean, so it's pretty open here right now. Okay, but I will tell you what I did when we were in COVID, when we were homebound, right?
Yes.
So in the beginning, I would have to say the first week it kind of felt fun, right? Because we were out shopping for groceries, and our pantry was empty. We were buying all kind of junk food to eat, and we were cooking every day. We were playing games. We were doing everything. Okay, that got boring after the first week. Okay, after the first week, we're like, okay, now what we doing next? So the second week, we're walking around here like, okay, we're ready to go back to work, and everybody in their head is saying things like, okay, so next week I think we'll be back to work in 2 weeks. Oh, I think we'll be able to go back out in 3. So everybody's trying to predict when we're going to get back to our lives, right? And everybody's watching CNN, and it's saying, it's going to be June, or it's going to be May, and it's going to be June, it's going to be, so everybody is like, what are we going to do? So I started to be a little bored being in the house, because I too, I travel a lot for work, and I am a worker bee. I like to work. That's what I do. And so by the third week, I said to myself, I got to get into the swing of things, okay? So I need to wake up every morning and make my bed, put on some clothes like I'm actually going to work.
Yes.
But I'm going to be actually going downstairs. So I was like, okay, so we got to figure this thing out. So I started getting dressed and go downstairs. And now, as time went on, I got into a whole routine. Every morning I wake up, I fix my bed like I'm really going to leave the house, go downstairs, start working in my home office. And I actually began to really like it. So it actually worked out for me. I started handling my business at home. I would say I lost 3 weeks, because the first 3 weeks I didn't know what we were doing. After that, I started working my businesses from home and learning how to make it work, and using my social media platforms, and using my YouTube and all of those things to make it work for me. And I actually like it. I actually liked it. So we were surviving. The only thing we weren't surviving was the kitchen, because we were in the kitchen eating left and right. I mean, we walked to the kitchen 1,000 times, just to eat. But working, I think I found a rhythm, and I think I'm surviving, and I'm doing pretty good. I am, by the way, going out in Atlanta now, because we can go out. So we are trying to use precaution. I do anyway. I wear my mask. I freak out when somebody else doesn't have theirs on. I'm like, why are they talking to me without their mask on? And I have on my gloves, and I can tell you how many gloves I've thrown away. And I'm thinking this thing is going to get expensive, because we're going to be wearing gloves and throwing them away alive, right? So, what you have to do. So in all of our cars, I put these little trash bags in all of our cars. And then I put these Clorox wipes in everybody's cars, gloves in everybody's cars, extra mask in everybody's cars. So it didn't matter which car we get in, or nobody can say they didn't have anything to wipe their hands with. Hand sanitizer in every car. So I think now that we're open, moving forward, I think it's all about proper hygiene. So you just got to, make sure you're washing your hands. wiping your hands, wearing your mask. When I get back in my car, I'm not gonna lie, I'd be like, "Woo, honey, I couldn't breathe." Seriously,
With
it
a
was
mask, yeah, it's
with the
quite crazy.
mask
Yeah.
on. I'm like,
It
oh my
is.
God, this mask is whoa. It's a lot. It depends on the fabric of some of them. Some of them you
That's
really
true,
can't
actually.
breathe in them. And then
Hmm
some of them
hmm
are really thin. And I'm thinking, is anything getting through this thing?
Because there's
So
supposed to be 3 layers, I think, three
yes, they
layers of the
are.
mask.
But we've been wearing
Yeah.
the fashion ones. So I don't know how
I,
safe those
I
are.
I
Yeah,
did see that on your Instagram.
yeah,
So let's talk Real Housewives of Atlanta.
yeah.
It's number one of all the Real Housewives franchises.
Mhm.
Why do you think that is?
I think the Real Housewives of Atlanta has been number one for the authenticness. I think
Mm-hmm,
the women have been very authentic on the show. I think that we're very opinionated.
mm-hmm,
So that is one of the things that make us very watchable. And I think the conflict as well, have
mm-hmm,
drawn people to watch the show very early on when the show was on.
mm-hmm,
I think we make people laugh,
mm-hmm,
the things that we say. And I think that people are really interested in some of the things that we're saying and doing. And so I think it's just made us just be way more popular. I think we were popular from the moment we came out of the gate.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And in terms of conflict, is all the conflict real? I think a lot of people have questioned whether the conflict that we see on the show is real or is it manufactured?
No.
Is it real?
Well, now listen now, wait. I've always said the conflict was real. But recently I
Mm,
felt like some things have been manufactured that just didn't have to go there. But
mm,
the conflict that I've had, well, my feelings are real. How about that? My feelings are
uh-huh,
real.
uh-huh,
Well, my feelings are just real. I'm just real with it. So I feel how I feel, and I never try to cover up how I feel on
mm,
television. This is how I feel, and I know somebody can relate because somebody had to feel this way too.
mm-hmm. And what would you say? So in terms of where the show was at and where you thought it would be, did you have an idea of where you thought the show would get to when you started? Because you're one of the OGs. You
Yeah.
started with it from the start. What has
Um,
become is
it has become way more than I ever thought it would become. When I
mm,
first started
mm,
the show, I had no idea that the show would do as good as it has done. I had no
mm,
idea that it would last as long as it has lasted.
mm,
I'm happy that it has.
mm,
I had no idea that any of those things would be happening though. When we did the
mm.
show and we came out of the gate, we just did the show.
Yeah.
I don't even think we really. At least for me, I didn't really know what I was doing. I was just being who I am.
Mm, mm, mm. And in terms of like, so the show has the idea of fun shade, right? Shade, fun shade, and reading each other. When does a shade or a read get too far?
They get too far all the time,
Mm.
probably every day. They get too far when you are. They get too far when you are. To me, when we first started, I think one of the things that people took to me from is, and I know this for a fact because I'm
Mm,
on social media like you. One of the things
mm,
I know that people loved about me were the one-liners, and it was nothing that
mm.
it was nothing I ever thought of or tried to do.
Yeah.
It just was a
Uh-huh.
natural thing. I just instantly came out with bam and bloop and just
Uh-huh.
saying stuff,
Uh-huh.
and people
Uh-huh. The
loved it.
thirst is real.
Yeah, the thirst
Uh,
is real. Just all I'm just saying stuff.
mm,
And I know that people love that about me because of all the gifs that I see all day long. But the shade gets really dark and nasty when it is
mm,
when you are hitting below the belt and saying things that are
uh,
just not necessary to say,
mm,
saying
mm,
things that doesn't make any sense to me to be saying
mm,
to do this show. I don't personally feel
mm,
that you have to do those things to be
mm,
a part
mm,
of this show. I do
mm,
think that people love to hear the fun shade, and it's good to read somebody every now and then. And but I think when people are saying things, excuse me, saying things really nasty, I
mm,
think that's when the fun shade becomes below the belt, and it becomes very dark. And that happens often. And why that happens, I just think that some of these girls just think that that is necessary for them to do the show. But I personally don't think so.
And you said, I saw somewhere, I read somewhere that you don't watch the show.
I do
I was
not.
surprised. Why?
I
Why
did
is
watch
that?
the show. I honestly watched the show for years. For years, I watched the show, and I would watch some of the other franchises. I loved New Jersey Girls when I would watch it. Before I ever was a housewife, the first year I loved Orange County. So I would watch those girls the first season. The first season, I think, of Beverly Hills I watched. It just became too nasty for me. So I didn't want to relive it. I already relive it
Okay.
when it comes on and I get to relive the comments and things like that. I just didn't want to relive that over and over again. And as seasons went on, I felt more and more like a target. And I felt more and more like I was ganged up on. So I didn't want to continue to watch that. I didn't want to continue to let that be in my energy because I know that it would just make me just appear something that I'm not, so I just didn't want to eat, sleep, and breathe it, if you will.
No, I get you. You left the show
Yes.
and you came back.
Yes.
Why is that?
Well, when I left the show to go do other things. And I've always wanted to be a part of the show in some capacity. I didn't have to be full time. And I think people know that I've said those things a million times. I mean, I could be full time, I could be a friend. And I feel like it all is fine for me because I've done the show for so long. I just, I don't know. It's really difficult being on a show in an ensemble like this. It has just been difficult. So I left. I came back because I feel like this is my baby. Like I started this show. And that's when I start to feel a certain kind of way. This is when my blackness show up because, I'm about, respect your, listen, this is something that I started. Respect that. You know what I mean? That does not mean bow down or any of those things. It just means respect. And I started the show. I feel like I have been here every season and I've given my blood out of my veins. I feel like I've shown up and I've participated and I've done my part. I feel like I've carried my weight. And they're just things that just make me feel like, it makes me feel like I want to quit every week, But again, this is my baby and I want it to be successful and I want to see it go on, but I also want it to be fair treatment across the board.
So is that the reason why you left? Because I mean, a lot of people, I think on our side, we're watching the reunion. I think we're on episode 3.
What
so on
season?
episode
Are
3,
you
you
in
left.
season 12? I mean,
12, yeah. We're in season 12.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah, so literally around the same time with you, because I know yours aired 2 weeks ago, the final episode.
Yes, we're done.
Of season 12.
The reunion aired.
So why did you leave the reunion, the part 3, and not come back?
I left at the end of part 2. I was not in part 3 at all. Okay. Because again, we are talking about the very negative side of the show that I just don't feel is necessary to do to make a great show. It was just too negative. 1, 2, I felt very ganged up on. And for all of you out there who can say they don't know what ganged up on is, Google the definition of gang up. Gang up is more than one person on a person at the same time. George Floyd was ganged up on. So no, he was physically ganged up on. And I have felt verbally ganged up on many times, and that is not fair to me. And I've asked for that to not happen constantly, and it has continued over and over again. Now, if you and I are battling verbally, you and I are battling verbally. I can't say that
Mm-hmm.
someone won't jump in and say something. I'm not saying that. But
Yeah.
when it's 3 and
Mm-hmm.
4 people, and when this
Yeah.
show has 5 and 6 women on it who are supposed to be
Mm-hmm.
showing their lives and their business and their
Mm-hmm.
highs and their
Mm-hmm.
lows,
Mm-hmm.
why
Mm-hmm.
am I being the only person attacked here? Why am I the only
Mm-hmm.
person that everything is being directed to? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody on this cast is being paid. So everybody
Mm-hmm.
needs to
Mm-hmm.
carry their weight.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think
And
it's
it
fair
and the
to
check.
put the weight on the shoulders of one person. If I need
Mm-hmm.
to carry the weight of the entire show, then I need you to give me everyone's check. Okay. And I need you to be fair about my check and my pay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Since
Mm-hmm.
I am the one
Mm-hmm.
that's constantly being attacked, I am the one that is always everybody's got to gang up on. And also, it's not fun being ganged up on. And the one thing I can't
Mm-hmm.
stand is for people to be like, "Oh, what? She wasn't ganged up on. She said this." I listen. I always can hold my weight. That's not a problem. But the gang up part,
Mm-hmm.
it's not a fair thing to do to somebody, because people,
Mm-hmm.
when you constantly do that on television to one person, you don't under, you may not understand.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter how tough they appear on the outside. You
Yeah.
don't know what you might be doing to them on the inside. You
Inside.
also may not understand or know that you may be doing something very mental to them that you should, that I
Mm-hmm.
just don't think is fair to do. And it doesn't matter the
Mm-hmm.
age. As I've said to
Mm-hmm.
many people, you wouldn't want your
Mm-hmm.
child to go to school and 3 or 4 people are aiming their gun and saying all these nasty verbal things
Mm-hmm.
to them
Mm-hmm.
constantly.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a fair thing to do. It's not a right thing to do. So that's why I closed my computer. And looks like I closed it at the right time. Black Lives
Ah.
Matter busted in the gate right after
Ah.
that. My life
Um,
matter, honey. Okay.
yes, it does. So what did you say? Do you have a favorite season from the
Um,
show? Do you have one season who
well,
you're like, which you're
understand this.
like,
Let me
this
say
is
this
favorite?
about this season. I didn't think this was a bad season for me. I honestly did
Huh?
not. I did not think season 12 was a bad season for me.
Mm-hmm.
It may not have been the best of all of the seasons that I've been in, but it certainly wasn't a bad season for me. I felt like I wanted to come in and make amends.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, again, when I said to you earlier that there are people who are posting and talking about Black Lives Matter and they don't understand the
Mm-hmm.
message, and I said they need to
Mm-hmm.
understand the message. Okay, remember
Yes.
that?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I felt like when I came back in season 12, there were some things that I just didn't understand. Like maybe I hurt
Mm-hmm.
someone's feeling and did not really
Mm-hmm.
understand how or why
Yeah.
I did that.
Mm-hmm.
So I
Mm-hmm.
wanted to come back in this season and make amends with people and apologize to
Mm-hmm.
those people I felt I owed an apology to, and offer olive
Mm-hmm.
branches to people I felt I owed an olive branch to. And I don't think there's anything
Mm-hmm.
wrong with doing that. And so
Yeah.
once I was able to understand, I had a life coach that were explaining things to me. When I
To you. Yeah.
understood, like I said, understand the message. Once I
Yes.
understood what I needed to do, I came here to do the work that I needed to do. And I didn't have a problem with
Mm-hmm.
doing that. But it's
Mm-hmm.
very difficult doing something like that when you genuinely, because I'm the kind of person, if I feel I need to apologize to you, I will. And if I don't, I won't.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and you ain't got to worry about trying to make me do it because I'm not going to do it if I don't want to. Okay. So,
Mm-hmm.
for me
Uh-huh.
to really take the time out to understand what I needed to do, and I did
Mm-hmm.
it, and then to have people to act like what you did wasn't
Mm-hmm.
genuine enough was
Mm-hmm.
a problem for me, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because
Mm-hmm.
I don't do things that aren't genuine because I don't do
Mm-hmm.
anything that I don't want to do, you know. So
Mm-hmm.
I was doing what I felt needed to be done,
Mm-hmm.
and so
So, music.
music,
Come and get it.
come and get
Come
it,
and get it.
honey.
Tell me about it.
Yes,
Tell me about it. We
well,
we were surprised. Most people were surprised that Nene is now making music. Was it something you've always wanted to do?
I've been on Broadway and I've sung there, and I was in a show out in Vegas called Humanity, and
Mm-hmm.
I've done Glee and all those things. So I like music. I like to sing.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say I'm the best singer, but I can hold a tune.
Uh-huh.
Um, so I've been asked a lot of seasons to do a song. And I never wanted to do one because I thought so many housewives were doing them and they weren't doing them like
Yes.
seriously, like people
Uh-huh.
were taking
Uh-huh.
them for a joke.
Mm.
And I was in my house doing a scene with Greg, an anniversary scene where I was saying, "Come and get this honey," like and running through the house,
Ah.
"Come and get this honey."
Uh-huh.
And that's how we came up with doing a song for "Come and Get This Honey," is because I was talking about "Come and Get This Honey" here. Now, when I got in the studio, I was introduced to Lady Luck. And once I got in the
Mm-hmm.
studio, I thought we were going to be singing, right?
Uh-huh.
She said to
Uh-huh.
me that you can rap. Let's do something different. Let's rap. Let's rap.
Mm.
And I
Mm.
was like, girl,
Mm.
now, I am not a rapper. And
Uh-huh.
she said, I can show you a few things and
Uh-huh.
you can do it. So she showed me a few things and I got in the studio and we did it. And I had so much fun doing it. I love it. I'm working on a remix right now with some special guests.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
And we wanted to drop the remix by now, but we couldn't
Uh,
because of everything that's happening. We felt out of respect that we should hold off and wait a little bit. So
mm.
that's what we're
Mm.
doing. But I love Come and Get This Honey. Now, honey,
Mm-hmm.
HUNNI, is something I always
Yes.
say, and I like to spell
Uh-huh.
it with HUNNI
Yeah.
instead of spelling it
Uh-huh.
honey like honey you taste HONEY.
Uh-huh.
So
Uh-huh.
I
Uh-huh.
love to say, yes, honey,
Uh-huh.
come get this honey. So
Ah.
here's the song, Come Get This Honey. And I'm saying a few things in there. I did have a writer. Um, some people asked me what was I throwing shade, I guess,
Shade.
at
Mm-hmm.
some people. Of course. Why not? Why not? Why not,
Uh,
honey? As much shade has been thrown my way, why not throw some back? So
mm,
yeah, I've
mm,
I've thrown shade in the song, yeah.
mm. And you've acted in there was Fighting Temptations, there was a New Normal, Glee, Chicago on Broadway. Are we going to see you acting more?
I sure hope so. I love to
Mm,
act, and I would love to continue to act. Yeah. So hopefully, yes.
So and there's someone who sent in a question saying a reader asked if you'd ever would you see yourself in a Tyler Perry movie?
Um, sure,
Mm.
sure. Why
And
not?
and what would you say your dream role is, acting wise? What did you say your dream role would be?
Well, I think that as an actress, so many people you get stereotyped. You know,
Mm,
or put
mm,
in a box. And so
mm,
I think a lot of times when you're outspoken and opinionated, that people think that are the loud black woman, you know.
mm,
And so I would like to play something quite different from the loud black woman.
mm, mm,
I don't
mm.
mind being the loud black woman. Apparently, I must be her because people say it to me all the time. But I would like to do something very different, just something that people would
Mm,
not expect me to be doing. Now, however, I do like comedy. I like to laugh.
mm,
And so I would love to continue to do something comedic wise. I do love that. But outside of that, I love to do
mm,
something different, something odd. I don't know exactly what that would be, but something that people would
mm,
never think that I would never see her in that role.
mm, mm.
Yeah.
So how different is the Nene we see publicly
Hmm.
and the Nene the mother, Nene the wife, Nene the grandmother? How different are those two people?
I think very different.
Mm,
Um, I'm often out and people are constantly, they say to me all the time, like, first of all, I'm very private. And I don't
mm,
think that watching me on television that people would know that I'm private. My circle is
mm,
very small.
mm,
I think I don't know if what people think in that area, but I'm private. I always say that I love my friends, and I think when the people watch the show, it almost comes off like I'm not a friend. And
mm,
um, I think I'm very different than what is seen on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. I don't
mm,
I love being private. I love to mind my own business. Like I don't care about what you're doing. Whatever you
mm,
do, it's fine with me. Just leave me alone. You know
mm,
what I mean? I love
mm,
having my
mm,
peace. So I don't think that all of those things are shown. I am a
mm,
businesswoman and I like
mm,
being a businesswoman.
Mm-hmm.
And once I had done an interview and I told somebody that I was a loner, and they said, "You're not a loner because a loner
Mm,
wouldn't
I was
even
about
be,
to ask you that.
yeah, a
Yeah.
loner
Uh-huh.
wouldn't even, have anyone sitting with them." I am somewhat of a loner, I would say. I do most
Mm,
things by myself, and I'm very happy
uh-huh.
with doing them by myself.
Mm.
Hmm.
And speaking of business, so tell me about your businesses
Yes.
and also how they're doing during this COVID time. How are you managing to sustain your businesses,
Yes.
especially at this time?
Okay, so Swagg Boutique obviously had to shut down, and they are all
Mm,
still shut down to this day. One
mm,
is located inside of a casino, and that casino is in Maryland, D.C. area, and it is
uh,
still
uh,
shut down. The casino has not
mm,
reopened yet. I think they're going to
mm,
try to open after the 4th of July. So they will
mm,
reopen, and that's when the store will reopen. My other store is in
mm,
Miami, Florida, inside of the Royal Palm Hotel. They just been
mm,
open 1 week. The whole hotel shut down, so they weren't having any guests at
mm.
all. So now that
Yes.
they're back open, we are able to open back up. So they have told us when we're ready to open, we can. The third store
Mm-hmm,
is located here in Atlanta, Georgia, and it has not
mm,
opened back up yet. And they have kind of told us to do how we feel. The mall that it
mm,
is in is open, and some of the
uh-huh.
stores are not. So what we are planning to do with our Swagg Atlanta store is open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday to ease back into it and not be
Yes,
open
yeah.
on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. The reason being is the malls aren't full yet like they used to be. So
Yeah.
people are trickling
Mm,
through. So we
mm,
just thought we
mm,
would just cut the schedule down to like 4 days a week. And
mm,
so I have a hairline called Color Mane Wigs. That's
wig.
COLOR Mane,
Mm,
MANE, wigs with
mm.
an S.com. And during COVID, they have flown out the door. Literally, I have
Really?
very little, yes, I mean, very little inventory left. I had to keep calling to try to get the manufacturers to get me more and more wigs. So we hope to be able to post more in another day or so. We did get some in, but the wigs went out the door. And I think that was because first of all, not only because they are cute and beautiful and fabulous, but
Mm,
because a lot
mm,
of women could not get to the hair salon during COVID because the beauty salons were closed down. So I think they
mm.
wanted to buy hair so that they could still look good.
Look good, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I have my Ladies of Success,
Beauty,
which I absolutely
beauty,
love,
brains, and
and
business.
business. Yes, I love
Tell me
those
about that.
girls. So the Ladies of Success is all entrepreneur female. There is no ethnicity needed, just whatever, you can come in, right? It just happened to be a bunch of African American women, but we do have a couple of white
Mm,
women that are a part of our
mm,
Ladies of Success events. These are entrepreneur women who are eating the fruit of their labor. So these women are entrepreneurs who's already started their business. They're already starting to see money, you know, from their business.
mm,
Um,
mm,
these are like-minded women. What we do, it's a circle. You have to be invited
uh-huh,
into the circle. This is a year-round
uh-huh,
circle. There is a joining
uh-huh,
fee. There is a monthly fee.
uh-huh.
I like to say, if you don't have any friends, we're the perfect girls for you. We teach you how to increase your bottom line. We have compelling conversations with each other. We uplift each other. We motivate. We support. We invest in each other's businesses. It's a really great circle of women. We have a woman who owns a concrete company, a woman who owns a liquor brand. We have publicists. We have lawyers. We have a doctor. We have me. We have a woman who owns 40 etiquette schools.
Mm,
We really have a beautiful list of women. Now, that list have grown
mm,
since COVID. Well, really not since COVID. The list has gotten bigger for people to come into the circle since Black Lives
mm,
Matter. Really, once that movement
uh,
started, so many women are like, I want to be a part of this all entrepreneurial women movement. And so our waiting list is huge right now.
mm, mm.
So my
And
business is
so,
actually the only business that and it didn't completely, but it did see, uh, COVID did hurt it some, was my clothing stores because we had to shut
because
them
the stores are
down.
closed, yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I do have an online store, so people were able to visit my online store.
Mm. So in terms of fame, right? So two things. what do you love about fame and what do you not like about fame?
Oh, I can tell you what I don't like about fame without even thinking about it, okay? What I don't
Mm,
like about fame is just people being all in your business. It's just too
mm,
much. It's just people feel they need to know every single thing about you. And that
mm,
is just, it's too much. And having to constantly be on, constantly
mm,
be on. Every time
mm,
you leave
mm,
your house, you need to be on because somebody is going to approach you. You know, you're not going to have a day where you can't be
mm,
on, and you're not going to have a day where you can just be Mimi. So you just got to get used to being on. And that was a struggle for me in the beginning.
uh-huh,
And I had a friend to really help me to be better about it because at first I was
mm,
not good at it because I'm a bit of a loner. So when I leave
mm,
out, I want to be alone. You know, if you see me alone, 9 times out of 10, I
mhm,
want to be alone, you know, because I could be with
mm,
anybody. You know what I mean?
uh-huh,
So a
uh-huh,
friend of mine really got me to understand that. And I have been so much better. A friend said to me one day, he said to me, listen, sometimes when these people see you, you never know how you could change a person's day and make their
mm,
day better. And also
mm, mm,
people, they think that they're never going to see you again. And they've wanted to
mm,
see you
true.
and they've been looking at you and supporting you. And then they see you and they're like, there she is. And you know, they're running towards you and you are like, oh, I don't want to do it.
Mm,
And
mm,
my friend said to me, you could change somebody's life and you never
mm,
know what you can do for that person to make them feel a whole lot better. So, you know,
mm,
as he continued to put that in me, I learned to
mm,
get better with it because it was something that I
mm,
truly struggled with. I honestly was very much a loner and really just, I don't even know what to say to these people, you know, when they approach me. I
mm,
honestly did not know what to say. You know, I'm almost
mm.
like, because a lot of people approach me and talk to me like they know me. So I
Ah,
really am like completely thrown off by it. But I've learned to do
mm,
so much more and so much better there. What I do love about being a public figure is
mhm,
definitely the perks. The perks have to
mm,
be probably the best. You know, all
yeah.
of the perks that you get, and you also receive a lot of respect from a lot of people.
Mm,
So you gotta
mm,
love it. You know what I mean? So
mm,
I definitely love the perks. I must say that. And I have to say the platform has been good to me. You know, I
yeah.
don't
Mhm,
believe that without this platform I would have been able to start all of my businesses. So the platform has definitely helped me to secure all of my businesses.
mm. So you said, so I was reading somewhere that you said you wouldn't want to move to LA. I know you stayed there for a bit,
Yeah.
while you were shooting Glee, and
Mm.
why wouldn't you want to move there or
Not move
stay there
there.
permanently?
Oh, permanently? No.
Ah,
I'm a Georgia peach. I'm a Georgia
ah,
peach. Yeah. I'm a Georgia
ah,
peach. This is home. Who doesn't
ah.
want to be at home? This is
I
my
get you.
home. Yeah, this is my home. I want to be home. And I don't mind going to LA. I don't mind working there. I don't mind being there for a period of time, but this is my home. I want to be home.
Mm, mm.
This is where I'm
And
going to
speaking
be.
of Peach,
Mhm.
and speaking of Peach, right? So you recently said you feel that within this group of housewives, one or two peaches need to be to go.
Mhm.
If it was up to you, and I'm putting you on the spot, who
Okay.
would you nominate? Who would you nominate, and why?
I've gotten in trouble so many times nominating people that I just won't nominate nobody while Black Lives Movement right now. I'm just not gonna nominate nobody. But I will say this. No, I'm not gonna nominate anybody. That's all a
Mm,
joke. But
mm,
um, I will say this.
mm,
We need a shakeup in the cast, and
mm,
I said it many a times. I think, and as I said to you earlier, I don't think the
mm,
show should lie on one person's shoulder. I feel like
mm,
everybody that's being paid need to participate. No, I don't think participating in the reunion is participating. We shoot for months.
mm,
We shoot for months and you have to put in your work during that time. I don't think it's fair that you get to sit around all season long and then show up at the reunion and act like you secured a bag. Like I don't think that's cool. You know, while
uh,
everybody else, so while I'm out here securing the show and the reunion. I don't think that's cool at all. So I think that we need new people on the show. I also think that there are certain people or a certain person on the show that I believe will be the demise of the franchise because I don't think all the nastiness. Listen, things are changing. We're in a different time right now. I don't think people want to sit up and listen to all the nasty, hurtful things that you can say about one woman. I just don't think anybody want to tune in to listen to all of that. I just don't think they do. So I think that um, some things need to change, and some cast members need to change as well. It's getting stale. Bravo. Time to be fair.
Uh, Three of your favorite one-liners, your own. Which are the three that you use all the time or mostly overuse?
I'm sorry, say that again.
So three of your favorite one-liners. So you know you've got epic one-liners. Which one are your favorite?
I probably like well recently I've been saying I said what I said. I said what I said, and I don't usually use that much, but lately I've been using I said what I said a lot. So I said what I said. I like that. I like I always like blue. I always like blue because I feel like you can read a person with blue. Now blue, and get you together now blue. And the thirst is real is everything. The thirst is real because there's so many thirsty people out here. The thirst is real. Girl, bye. I could tell you all kind of stuff all day long. I mean, the list goes on and on.
And who's the one person who can read you? Who's the one person who can say, this can read? Even in your personal life or just even outside of media.
I've gotten read many times. I mean, I'm okay with getting read. I've gotten read many times. Just don't be mad when I read you back. So I'm not saying I can't get read. I've gotten read plenty of times. But I tell you, the people that read me the best are my gay guy friends. They read me the best. They always get me, they shut me up. But then I think of something and come right back and get them. But yeah, I can be read. Yeah, sure I can.
So I'm just looking through here. I'm just now going through the questions from some of your fans.
Okay.
I know we're about to run out of time here.
So I'm an open book. So just ask me whatever. Don't think too hard on it.
Yes. So someone is asking, Given Butter is asking, how is Greg doing?
Greg is doing really good. He's doing really well. We are opening another business. Oh my gosh, I don't know how many businesses we're going to have in the end. We are opening another business. So he's really busy with working on that business right now.
The real law is asking, please ask her if she can see herself squashing her issues with Kenya anytime soon.
I actually, if you watch the show this season, I actually extended many olive branches to Kenya. So I feel like the ball is in her court. There's nothing else that she and I need to talk about. I know that. There's nothing else that we need to argue about. I know that. I did my part as I said I would. I extended olive branches. I made a public apology, and there's not much else that I can do. Now you can't continue to hold my feet to the fire. You can either move on or we just don't have to say anything else to each other. I've done my part. So the ball's in her court. So that will be a better question for her.
Another question again is from the real law is asking, what do you think makes Portia a favorite fan? A fan favorite. Why do you think fans love Portia so much?
I don't know about fan favorite, but I know that I think she's grown up. I think she's grown up a lot. I think when she first came on the show, she was still trying to, find her way and find exactly where she fit in. And so she was saying and doing a lot of things that weren't right. But I think she's figured it out now. And I think that people like that.
Have you ever been to South Africa? This is Theon_Rina asking, have you ever been to South Africa?
South Africa, the entire cast of the Real Housewives of Atlanta visit South Africa, and we filmed in South Africa. I think that may have been season 5, maybe something like that. season 5 or 6.
Mm.
You guys should go back and look. We're in Africa filming.
Mm. Um, when, oh yes, what makes Nene Leakes happy on the Real Housewives of Atlanta? What makes you happy on the show?
What makes me happy on the show is when we're all
Mm.
laughing. You know, when we're all
Mm.
laughing and all getting along, that makes me happy. And when Nene is
Yes.
not a constant target.
Mm. And what's the best advice you've ever received? What's the best
Um,
advice you've ever received?
oh my God, I've received so much advice in my lifetime. I mean, I can't even. Oh well, maybe I'll say my aunt. My aunt is 93 years old, and she
Mm.
raised me. And one of the things my aunt has always told me, and it has really, I know people tell you all this stuff about their careers and stuff. Mine has told me to always be myself, be true to who I am, and
Mm.
that has been the best thing for me, is for me to remain true to who I am, because I honestly cannot be anybody else. And there's been times where, you tried to change a little bit, like try to change how you are or the way you speak or the way you, whatever. And I think one of the best things my aunt ever put in me was to be who I am, be my true, authentic self. And that
Mm.
works for me.
The biggest false rumor you've ever heard about yourself?
The biggest what now?
False rumor you've ever heard about yourself?
I've heard so many false rumors about myself. Oh my God. Let me see. What have I heard that's been? Well, I've heard everything is false so far. Find something that I thought was like a big false rumor. Uh, I don't know. I guess that me and Greg have an open marriage.
Oh yeah, a lot of people are asking about that.
Yeah, I guess, that is something that's false. We don't have an open marriage. We can have one though if we want to. I don't understand why everybody is so concerned. So we have just kind of played into the whole thing of, having an open marriage. I don't think that people. There's been times when and I weren't even together, and people don't even know. So I just assumed that they
Mm.
just assumed that we were having an open marriage. Maybe that was the case. I mean, I don't know.
Mm. And the one question you're tired of being asked.
Tired of being asked. Well, I get tired of people asking me, "Is this show scripted?" I hear that,
Mm.
I get that all day long. Is it, when people are talking to me and they said, "I know you from that show," and I know some of those things are made up, and I'm always looking at them like, "What is made up, ma'am?" You know, and so I get tired of hearing that. Yeah, that's a good one.
Mm. And what are you most proud of? What are you most proud of?
Um, hmm. I'm very proud of. I'm proud of my children. I'm proud of the life I've
Mm.
been able to give them, and I'm
Mm.
I'm proud of being able to provide for my children.
Mm.
Um, oh my God, I'm proud of so much. I'm so proud of my health and my
Mm.
I'm
Mm.
so proud of so many dang old things. Um, oh gosh, I'm proud of my career. I'm proud of myself.
Mm.
Oh, geez, the list goes on and on.
So, Kutrano Arthur is commenting. He says we want swag uh, business in South Africa, swag boutique in South Africa.
Yeah. What did you say? Say that again. I'm sorry.
Arthur Kutrano is asking, are we going to get swag in South Africa?
Oh, that will be hard because I'm
Mm.
very hands-on with my businesses, all of them,
Mm.
and I do visit all of my stores, and I'm there for days in. I'm flying in and out, watching those stores. Africa will be very tough for me to do because I want to be able to see it. I need to put my eyes on it and touch it. And the only thing I could think of in order to have a swag boutique there is to let somebody, buy into the franchise and, and put a swag boutique there or something like that. And let me just
Mm.
provide the stuff to another person that want to use the name and use the brand. And
Mm.
and we ship some of the clothes there, but really, someone else is the owner and I'm only seeking a piece of it or something because I wouldn't be able to
Mm.
fly there. And I think in order to have a successful business, you need to be there. You got to
Mm.
be able to check it. You got to be able to check on your business. It just can't work if you don't do that.
And the funniest fan encounter you've ever had?
The funniest fan encounter?
Mm.
I have a lot of fan encounters, by the way. I actually was going to my studio yesterday. When I got there, was a box at my door, and a fan had sent me all kinds of stuff, masks, and they sent me some of their products. So I have fans I encounter that cry. I've had fans that I encountered that just start screaming, "Oh my God, it's Nene!" You know, so I've had a lot of fan encounters, and all of them have been great. When the person see me and they cry, it really, I don't even know what to do or say. I'm just like, why are you crying? Stop it. You know, so I've had people to do all kinds of stuff. So all of my encounters have been good, and I've had a couple of bad fan encounters as well. So I've had them all.
So,
Yeah.
so you are a businesswoman. You're a reality show star. What's the next dream? What's the next dream that you're chasing?
I'm a serial entrepreneur. As I was just telling you, we're starting another business. I love being an entrepreneur. I love knowing about new business where we can make money. I love working with all these entrepreneur women of ladies of success because they teach me about business. They tell me, you know, about business a lot. So I really, that is an area that I really want to go to the next level in. I always admire Magic Johnson. He obviously played in the NBA, and he became this amazing serial entrepreneur. And I would like to be the female Magic Johnson. I love different businesses. I talk to women all day long about different businesses. So I love it. So I really love to really go to the next level in entrepreneurship.
Yeah. And we're literally, I think, left with like 2 minutes, actually a minute. What would you say? Do you use your own gifts? Actually, I asked you this earlier. Do you use your own gifts when you're talking?
I actually don't. It took me a long time. I saw them all the time, and I didn't know where they were coming from. And I was like, how did they get that? Where did it come from? And so, you know, I found, you know, they're actually on our phones too, you know, and I didn't know that either. And my son told me that. I'm not techie at all. So my son taught me that, but I don't use them. I don't like all of them. I'm actually very, I'm a little freaked out by them. To be honest, there's
Why
so
is
many
that?
out there, and it's just me. So when I see myself in some of them, I don't like what I see. So I don't always
Ah,
like all of them. You know what I mean?
mm,
I'm just like any other girl. I might have been like, why did I wear that lipstick color? Dang. And why are they using that one the most? I hate that lipstick.
mm,
I hate my hair right
mm,
there. Why are they using that one the most? So
mm.
they get used a lot. They are on every phone, everywhere. It looks like somebody owe me some money because I'm not getting
That's true,
any pay
actually.
from
Yeah.
that. And I see they're every single place. And again, I
hmm
don't like all of them, but I'm glad that everybody enjoyed them, enjoying them,
hmm
and having fun with them. Yes.
Cool, cool. So, Nini, what would you like to say to all the people who tuned in? Because literally, Instagram cuts you off if you go on for too long. So, literally, in the last 30 seconds, what would you like to say to everybody who has joined in? And
Oh,
once again, thank you for your time.
oh, thank you too. I just want to say to everybody, thank you so much for loving me. I love you right back. Thank you so much for supporting me. Thank you so much for wanting to listen to anything that I have to say. And thank you for all the years that you tuned into the Real Housewives of Atlanta and rooted for me. Also, I'm not sure what they're doing in Africa. Are they doing any protests out in Africa?
No, 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 not at the moment. No, we're
Oh,
not doing anything. But we did join with. So it's almost like a wave. So it is
mhm.
coming through as well to us. We joined on the Blackout Tuesday, and everyone is speaking out as well. But we're not protesting on the street, but we are
Yeah.
speaking out in different ways and making positive changes, supporting Black businesses as well.
Yeah. So if it's any way that
Mm,
whoever, it doesn't matter if you have 25 followers, 5 followers, if you can use your platforms to post about Black Lives Matter, that would mean a lot to so many people because there are people who can't protest and can't get out, but they don't want to compromise their immune systems. You can post about, where protests are going to be. You can post about, different things that they can contribute and donate to, and where to donate. You can post Black businesses to direct people to shop with and support different Black businesses. So there's lots of ways to use your platform, and you never know who's watching. And when you do put up that information, if you hashtag Black Lives Matter or BLM, then people can find the information.
Nene, thank you so much. Instagram is counting us down.
Oh,
I
I didn't know
absolutely
they did
appreciate
that.
your time.
Oh,
Yes, they are. It's about 9 seconds left. Absolutely. Thank
okay.
you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you too. You were great. Let's talk again soon.